combination. Valentino Rossi fighting it out for 19th place. Lecuona is through on Fabio Quartararo and the two. Lecuona, fantastic job by him. Well, Pecco Bagnaia is famed, isn't he, Steve, for being all in 2021. Normally, view camera, here comes on the left, Lecuona on his agreed. Look at the time, as ever, as you'd expect through left, quicker than his teammate Pecco Bagnaia. Really unbreakable Pecco Bagnaia. He's been in this video and those doubts have come to fruition, unfortunately. The 149s. Do you remember here last year, Steve? If we stay on board, watch how much time Marquez final sector, but this is a bit of a demoralising... And Alex Rins also coming with 15 laps to go. This is how it looks. It's still the punt. He hasn't got arm pump in this race, we don't think. Gone. Soon to be 9 laps gone. They're a second clear for an easy motorcycle to overtake, and Jack's so good on the moment. Taka Nakagami is starting to make inroads. Aleix, that is, and Joan Mir are slipping away a bit. They're now 1 to this famous 5-kilometre circuit for the doctor at the moment. He's crashing out also. Quick check on Stover, a second. Martin himself and Bagnaia, he's responded well. Mir is also in the World Championship too. But it's just good to see. It's not very often we've seen it before in motor deteriorate. The grip will start to fade. Second off now, Brad Binder, falling into the hands quickly. He's almost in Alcaniz. Jack Miller's gone from 5th. He's just gone up into 3rd place, whilst we're looking who's only a couple of tenths behind Bagnaia.
There might be more to it, meaning some people really streak backwards that haven't.
We're still a few laps away from that, on by well over a second. So he'll be hoping, looking at Bagnaia, if you want to keep an eye on the championship leader, there's a little spot that he is at the moment to keep Bastianini and Nakagami behind him. Into its own sector 4 they have owned. But then Quartararo on the cutbacks trying to get back involved. No, wasn't he trying to defend the two men behind there? Let me have a crack at Fabio. You've tried a couple of times. There's contact between Nakagami and Bastianini there. I think he was pushing, Aneo Bastianini. Absolutely awesome. Actually, it's almost like the burden of pressure's been another appearance in MotoGP in the future for sure. So Pecco Bagnaia, number 63, looking for his first ever made 48.7s. Everybody else was the pre-race predictor of when we manufacture Ducati. Jorge Lorenzo battles. 15 then chalked off. Now it's all about your sprint to weaknesses are. Simon.
The motorcycle world again is a latest.
Just under 0.6 of a second down on Joan Mir at the moment. There's the famous wall. The latest Spargaro, they're slightly quicker. Opens the gap up again. Miller's not been able to Brad Binder. Further. What's happened to Lecuona? He was 7th a moment ago and he's just... Are they about to drop into the 149 in the 148s as they cross the line? First pressure from the 8-time world champion Marc Marquez. Turn 12 on lap number 18. Well, added point for him. Well, Marquez did say pre-race he will place here. They cannot eat into the gap, something in reserve, or whether he's being stretched to the that close. Nothing between them again as they pack emotions. Marc Marquez, though, does like breaking a heart. Cal Crutchlow no longer in that 17th place, which has been hitting. Great start to his home Grand Prix weekend, and then yes, you feel like he's trying to set up that his patience rewarded, all that hard. You can just see though how hard Bagnaia was having to force obey. He's a lot closer here than he has been on. See it coming now. We're on board with Marc Marquez. We in Motorland Aragon. Marquez then has made his left-handers. Now then, is he lining up the move? Very best in the world, isn't he? Oh, and another element of surprise. And this time he will be close enough to make another move. Is he going to have another look here now into turn 3? Has he made it? No, he hasn't. He's in wide again. But Joan Mir's got that covered. Later Spargaro's hits so good down the hill into that tricky 5 and turns 15. Marquez went for it. Lap 22. Marquez. Pecco needs some power here from that fact. From Marc Marquez. He's not close enough. Oh, Bagnaia on the Ducati. Marquez on the rep. Is it attempt number 7 coming over the crest down the hill here, down into the chicane? He's defensive as well. Is that surely he's got it? 16, turn 17. He's 3rd ahead of Aleix Spargaro, and Miller takes 5th. Bagnaia and Marc Marquez jousted it out.
Later on, it's another front row start. 11 on the spin for Fabio Quartararo. Not overly optimistic. A race scenario, it's always different. He knows he's going to be fighting for the podium. Not potentially a case of damage limitation, but a podium, you get a feeling from Fabio that would be a real bonus result.
Plenty of fans for Fabio Quartararo here this weekend. He really is racking them up. He's a sign here, Fabio.
Yeah, the El Diablo fans, they're certainly out in force, and it's a rapidly expanding army, isn't it? As Steve mentioned. Not sure about some of the moves there in the grandstand.
They've all come dressed up, haven't they? There's some weird and wonderful folks that have lined up in the grandstands here today. Here's Joan Mir. Big day coming up for Joan. 7th place on the grid doesn't sound all that flash, Matt, but for Joan Mir, he's equalled his second best qualifying of the season. He's got good speed as well, good pace.
Yeah, I think as well, the crucial session of this weekend so far for me was FP3 yesterday morning, because he felt in that session it was where he regained some of the confidence he's lost recently in the front end of that factory Suzuki. He's one of the best breakers, one of the latest and hardest breakers in MotoGP, and if he's just missing that little bit of feeling, it does sap away at his confidence, but he seemed to rediscover it in FP3 yesterday morning. That was a big bonus. And you do know that Mir's going to be a hard charger from that third row of the grid. He's going to certainly be in that podium battle, no doubt.
He's second in the World Championship. He could do with clawing some points back. Here's Johan Zarco, third in the World Championship. For a long time this season, been second overall. But a bit of a slump, Matt, in form of late. And it doesn't really seem to be getting any better here in Aragon.
No, unfortunately, 10th on the grid, his worst qualifying of the year on the Pramac Ducati. No podium in his last 5 now since Catalonia. Not a fantastic record here as well in Aragon for the 31-year-old Frenchman. And we welcome back, it's a very, very rapid return of the Mac. Maverick Vinales, of course, all the controversy behind him after his split from the factory Yamaha team. And now he's, what, half an hour away, just a little bit less, from making his factory Aprilia debut. And what a time to be joining the last time out. And congratulations to this man. Taka Nakagami creates a little bit of history today because he becomes the first Japanese rider to reach the milestone of 200 Grand Prix appearances for the 29-year-old. So well done, Taka Nakagami. A top job, top man.
Yeah, he was quick in warm-up this morning as well, Nakagami. Of course, still chasing that elusive first podium in MotoGP after 60 attempts. We won't remind Taka what happened here in the Grand Prix of Teruel last year, but he does like this Aragon layout, so good luck to him a little bit later on from 11th on the grid. Yeah,
that pole start, the nerves and the tension just got the better of him, didn't he? That early mistake at turn number 5. Now then, you can never discount out this young man, Jorge Martin. He's got race-winning pedigree around this Aragon circuit. He's won 2 races in Moto3 from pole position. Yes, MotoGP is a completely different ball game, but keep an eye on Martin. He starts from 5th. He's a fast start, an electric starter on that Ducati as well, so don't be surprised if he's not inside those top 3 places already in the first sector.
And wouldn't it be ironic, having waited 7 years for a MotoGP podium, if he made it back-to-back? Aleix Espargaro on the Aprilia here, got a great record here in Aragon. So has the Aprilia as well. He's got good pace from 6th on the grid. He's definitely in the mix.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it, to think that Aleix Espargaro, 2 podiums in 191 MotoGP races, but nobody will be surprised if he does make it 2 in the space of 14 days. What about the prospects of younger brother Pol Espargaro? Well, a little bit angry with himself yesterday in Q2. 8th on the grid, not bad, but could have been better, he feels. He made a couple of real big mistakes, one at the final corner on his last flying lap, and he feels like that really cost him some time. But signs of improvement. There's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, particularly for Pol Espargaro. HRC are testing a lot of parts. Marc Marquez said he's on his 3rd different chassis in the last 4 races. There's a revised engine for 2022 to be tested imminently, so Honda are certainly not taking this slump lying down, are they? There's a lot of new parts coming out of Japan to try and get Marc Marquez and Pol Espargaro right at the sharp end in MotoGP again.
Let's go down onto the grid. We're looking at Bagnaia, who's going to start from pole here in Aragon. Jorge Lorenzo knows how that feels, and he, the 5-time world champion, is with Simon Crafar.
He is. We're standing right on more or less pole position. And Jorge, tell us what's brought you to Aragon. How do you like the atmosphere, and what do you expect to see in the battle today?
Well, I was really willing to come here, and I was in Barcelona 3 days ago, so we were close. So finally, after almost 2 years without coming to the paddock, I wanted to see my old friends again and have this feeling of competition, no? So, but without pressure and without having to get the best result, no?
I've seen you out on circuit during the weekend watching the bikes, you know. Anything interesting you've seen? Any extra good skills from any riders?
As always, the Yamaha and the Suzuki looks very smooth. When you hear their engine, the Ducati looks very well. I think they improved a little bit the lean angle. Before, when I was there, we couldn't lean as the Yamaha or the Honda. Now they lean a little bit more, so that's good for them. Their engine looks the more loudy and cutting a lot of the electronic in the middle of the corner. But nowadays the MotoGP bikes are very equal, both of the five, so we see a great show.
Jorge, two other things I have to bother you about. What are you doing with your time right now before the bikes all roll up on the grid? What keeps you busy when we don't see you at the races?
Making interviews. Now I have 5 more interviews of 5 different televisions. Okay. But just chill, enjoy. And now if I would be here as a rider, I will be with scare and tension and pressure. But now I'm so chill and relaxed and enjoying the moment.
Okay, last thing I'd like to know from you, who is going to do the job today? Who do you think who's going to take it? Who's going to be in the fight?
Looking at Mark lap times in FP4, he was the one who have better pace, and when it's very hot, he's very competitive. But I think, and also Fabio, I think I will bet Bagnaia today, and then the second group, Aleix Espargaró, Jorge Martin and Jack Miller.
Thank you and enjoy your day.
Thank you.
There you go, great to hear from Jorge Lorenzo there. Thank you very much indeed, Simon. He's picked out about 5 riders there to keep an eye out for. There's the Marc Marquez corner at turn 10. This guy normally, when he turns up to Aragon, does the business. Life is a bit different though for Marc Marquez at the moment. This is not the 2019 version.
Normally when you come to an anti-clockwise circuit, it's a given that Marc Marquez is going to be fighting for the race victory. Not so though. The modern day Marc Marquez still fighting his way back to full fitness, still trying to find some confidence on that unruly Repsol Honda RC213V. There's this brilliant motorsport complex at Motorland Aragon. The helicopter buzzing around to bring you these spectacular overhead shots. Good point that actually by Jorge Lorenzo. Marc Marquez in hot, low grip conditions normally is one of the strongest riders, so no great surprise. There is the 5 times world champion, just having a catch up there with Franco Ancini on the grid. What a star rider Jorge Lorenzo was back in the day, and it looks like, if everything goes well, Fabio Quartararo will be Yamaha's first world champion since 2015. Let's pop back down on the grid then. Simon Crafar is with Repsol Honda team manager Alberto Puig. What's he anticipating ahead of this 23-lap battle? Simon, down to you.
Yeah, I want to know as well. Alberto, a lot of us think Marc is going to be fighting for the win today. What do you think?
Well, it's not easy. It's a tough circuit for him. He has, let's say, a little bit of pain in this track, but on the rhythm and on what we saw in the weekend, of course, he's a contender. He has a chance to do it, but, you know, it's never easy. And we just have to wait and see how the start goes and how the race is going.
Last thing, is the tyre a worry at the end of the race, the rear tyre?
I think for everyone. So this is not going to be an excuse. I mean, I think basically everyone is racing same tires, so you have to survive with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to Alberto Puig. Yes, Marc Marquez definitely in the frame. His race pace looks very, very good. He's got to try and keep himself clean on the opening lap. It's the best GP award. It's about to be handed out to Aragon and Teruel. Of course, we came here twice, so it's about to be handed out to Arturo Arriaga, the Vice President of Aragon and the President of this circuit, Motorland, as well. So congratulations to them. So the pressure is on Ducati here today, Matt. First and second on the grid. You could kind of hear it in the voice and in the tone of Davide Tardozzi earlier in the weekend. He expects his boys to deliver, at least one of them.
When you've got a 1-2 on the grid, Steve, for the first time in 3 years, and when you've been so good, particularly in FP4 yesterday, Pecco Bagnaia looked absolutely electric. Anything other than a win today is going to feel like a bit of a kick in the teeth for the factory Ducati team, to be honest.
And just a quick one on Fabio Quartararo. It was interesting in morning warm-up. The three of us, myself, you, Simon Craig, all picked three different winners. None of us picked Fabio Quartararo. Are we a bit foolish to be ruling out the Frenchman?
Well, I don't think we're foolish to rule him out, but I mean, I don't think he's got the same race pace as the guys that we picked out, Pecco Bagnaia, Marques. Joan Mir also looked really strong as well. I just don't think Fabio's in a position now where, if things aren't happening for him, if he's not got the pace, he's not going to take silly risks. You know, he's going to, as we get towards the business end of the championship, start thinking about the championship. It's inevitable that he will have to start doing that. So, you know, Fabio himself has kind of played down his prospects today. He felt yesterday that he didn't really have podium pace. They may have found something in this morning's warm-up, but I think if he's on the podium today, that would be a massive result, because there's a lot of fast riders around him who look like they've got rarely slightly better pace.
It's hot here today. It looks like most riders are going for the hard front, soft rear. That's what it's looked like since yesterday morning. What does Piero Taramasso think of the temperatures and how the race could pan out? The Michelin Motorsport boss.
Yes, the same as this morning, so no big change. Everybody with the hard front and rear soft. Maybe Joan is going with the front medium, because my Joan, you know, he can handle very well. He's very smooth, so he can handle the medium in the front. But yeah, no big change. We expect quite a quick race at the beginning, and maybe the pace slow down after lap 15 a little bit, but for sure some riders they will manage very well until the end, the one with the best setting.
Is there a machine that is particularly good at doing that you've seen?
Machine, I don't know, but for sure Mark is very strong on that, Fabio is very strong, and also Pecco, also his bike, he looks very well balanced, so yeah, they will do a good job.
One other question, when you said Joan, do you mean Joan Zarco or Joan Mir?
Yeah, I was talking about Joan Zarco.
Thank you and best of luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much to Piero Taramasso.
Yeah, he's right. That is at the moment the only anomaly in terms of tyre choice. Everybody, as we suspected on our initial tyre allocation sheet that has been handed to us here in the commentary box, on the soft rear, but Joan Zarco, he has at the moment decided to go for that medium front tyre, so he's gone rather out of left field there.
Well, he might well feel he's got nothing to lose. 10th on the grid, and it's not really been going for him so far. With the thoughts of Shinichi Sahara, I wonder. Joan Mir with an excellent chance of a podium, maybe a win today. Alex Rins with it all to do, don't forget. Way back, last year's race winner and 20th. Let's go down to Simon on the grid.
Yes, I've got two things I would like to know, Shinichi-san. Is Joan Mir, I really think he has a chance even for the win today. I know that's a big call, but I would like to, it's more important to hear what you think of that. Also, I would like to hear what happened, or the listeners I'm sure would like to hear, what happened to Alex yesterday, because he's further back than we expect.
Yeah, for Alex, yesterday he makes some mistake on his flying lap. That's it, and he lost some rhythm to make the lap, another lap time. So, but I have no concern, because we know he is one of the quickest rider with the race tire, so he has to catch up many riders in front. But I said to him just to keep his cool head and not in a hurry. Easy riding, yes.
So tell us what you think of my thoughts that Joan can fight for the podium. I think for sure, maybe even better.
Yes, I really hope so. And yes, as usual, I hope.
Wow, I had to close the mic there, guys. That was rather loud. Sorry, what were you saying about Joan?
Yeah. As usual, I hope he makes a good start. In early stage of the race, he catch up the front and to get top group. So I have no concern about him. So he can make the good pace of the race.
Thank you for your thoughts and best of luck.
Thanks, Simon.
Yeah, best of luck to Shinichi Sahara's men on the Suzukis. The top 7 places on the grid are littered with potential race winners, podium takers. The fans are ready. Marc Marquez, of course, racing in front of a home crowd for the first time since his return from injury. Turn 1 here in Aragon can be treacherous on the opening lap. That's job 1, isn't it, Matt? Get around that squeaky clean and then see if you can make up a place or two.
Who would have thought we'd have to go all the way back to 20th place on the grid to find this young man, a man who was so brilliant here in the Aragon doubleheader last year, won one race, finished second in the other. A lot of work to do though for Alex Rins coming from 20th. We've talked about what a great weekend so far it's been for Ducati, but this is where it really matters. 23 laps of Aragon, their men on pole and second place. Let's hear from Ducati factory team manager Davide Tardozzi.
Yes, Davide, both of your riders, Pecco and Jack, have looked fantastic here all weekend. I'm convinced they're going to be fighting for the podium or the win. I want to know what you think they can do.
Yeah, for sure. Both riders will be on the top guys that fighting for the podium. But I guess we have not to undervalue Marc, Fabio, and I guess that Mir could be there with a good start. So it's a difficult race because in the end of the race, everybody that all the grids start with the soft tire on the back, and everybody will have some problem in the last couple of laps. So. Needs to be fast, but also to manage the rear tire. So needs to be gently, but go fast. Fast like this airplane.
Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for that, Simon. And Davide Tardozzi as well. Top Gun even enjoyed that one, of course. A big race coming up for him, his first outing on the Aprilia. Yeah, big one for talking about it then, Matt. There is something about there's something in the air about Marc Marquez. He looks tense. He's so hungry to not just win, but to win here in Aragon as well. He doesn't want to lose that record here. And you just wonder, don't you, how aggressive he might be in the opening stages of this. And let's go down onto the grid now and get the thoughts of KTM. Are all their hopes pinned on Brad Binder, I wonder, today from 12th on the grid? Pit Byra is with Simon.
He is. Pit, can you give us your thoughts about your machines and riders going into this one?
Well, I mean, we didn't have a Friday and Saturday like we wanted, so yeah, we just could not perform in one lap like we have to in this class. So there is no excuse. We are too slow on one lap. I think our race performance is definitely better than the one lap performance. So we have to count again another time on the Brad attack to see that, like, let's hope he survives first lap. It's not the most easy thing if you're so far back, but I'm sure we can make a decent race pace, manage the tire over this race here will be also key. These are all the positive things for us. We are just starting too far back, so let's make the best out of it.
Thank you, Pit.
Thank you.
Thank you to Pit Byra. Just saw there Valentino Rossi, his last race in Aragon. Some trusted fans here following him. He's starting way back in 21st. Jake Dixon, of course, his teammate for the weekend, one place below him in 22nd.
So this man starting from a season worst grid position of 10th, looks like he's taking a punt on that medium front tyre. We do know that he's very, very silky smooth on that front end, smooth breaker as well. So if anybody can make that medium front last to full race distance, it will be Johann Zarco. But he is certainly out on his lonesome in terms of tyre choice. Everybody soft rear and everybody else bar Zarco on the hard front.
Here they are again, the Fabio Quartararo fan club. Let's go down now and speak to Fabio's boss, Massimo Merigali. What does he expect for Fabio Quartararo? Will a podium do, I wonder? Down to Simon.
Yes. Mayo, really interested to hear your thoughts going into this one. Fabio has looked very good all weekend. I just wonder how hard it's going to be to fight those quicker machines down the straight each lap, and how he can manage it from here.
Yeah, it will be definitely hard, and hard also because especially in the last part of the race we expect a tire degradation. This morning Fabio did an excellent job because he started with 14 laps on the rear tire to try to get used to the behavior of the rear tire, especially for the end of the race. He was quite satisfied.
we expect also that most likely Ducati will suffer less this problem because they have this advantage on the straight, and maybe they will give to them some less stress on the rear tire. The race is going to be long, yeah, tough for everybody. I think, as usual, we prepare the race in the best way as possible, and now, yeah, it's just up to Fabio.
Mayo, thank you for your thought.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Massimo Meregali. Interesting that of all the names that keep on being mentioned for wins and podiums, this guy's name has not been brought up once. And he's been on the podium 2 of the last 3 times, and let's be honest, had he have stayed on the bike and not clashed with Marc Marquez at Silverstone, there was an argument saying he might have been on the podium there as well. Don't count out Jorge Martin.
What about this man as well, Aleix Espargaro? He's supremely confident in his race pace. He said yesterday nothing to fear when he looks at his rivals' race pace. Definitely mix against, and he made a good point. It won't be the outright fastest rider that wins today. It's going to be the one who manages that rear tyre towards the back end. Earplugs then go in, blocking out all the noise and the buzz around him. Pecco Bagnaia, he starts from pole position for the 2nd time in MotoGP. He is a marginal bookish favourite. Let's pop back down to Simon Crafer on the grid. It was joy and jubilation last time out for Aprilia and Aleix Espargaro. Can they make it 2 podiums in 2 races? Simon is down the grid with Aleix's crew chief Antonio Jimenez.
Yeah, things have gone really well, like exceptionally well lately at Aprilia. Antonio?
Well, you know, the thing is, so we are in a well position to start. So Aleix normally starts quite well. So the most important is in the first 2 laps to be in the correct group. We have the pace, we know that, and a few riders also have the pace. I think the most important thing will be to manage the tire. Temperature is a little bit more high today than yesterday, air and track temperature. Therefore, I think the rider he knows, so we help him with in the electronic side point of view, but also he have to be smooth with the throttle. You have to push to stay on the group, but don't destroy the tire. I think this will be the key of the race for the end of for the end. And obviously, so our expectation is still high, coming from a podium in Silverstone.
Thank you, Antonio, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yes, some key words there mentioned by Antonio Jimenez.
Yeah, that's the dilemma, isn't it? You've got to push hard to keep yourself in that early group in the first laps, but also be thinking about tyre conservation as well. That's the problem for Alex Rins. Throughout the weekend, he's not had bad race pace, probably top 6 race pace, but he's got so much work to do coming from 20th on the grid, and then how much rear tyre will he use up trying to fight his way through the pack?
That's why these guys are the best in the world. They've got to do everything. They've got to be fast, they've got to be clever, they've got to be consistent, they've got to be smooth, they've got to be clever, they've got to get through turn 1, they've got to be precise, they've got to be fast.
Yeah, it's all on, isn't it, to muscle a 200 mile an hour, 300 horsepower MotoGP bike around this famous Aragon circuit. The 3-minute board has gone up. The grid will start to clear. The temperature is rising. The pressure and tension is rising. Marc Marquez, so good on anti-clockwise circuits. He loves it here in Aragon, does the 28-year-old. 2013, 2016, 2017, 2018 and 2019. He was our race winner right here on home turf. Can Pecco Bagnaia end Marquez's golden run in Aragon?
The 24-year-old from Turin has gone so close so many times. He's been in the position to take the victory, and every single time it's eluded him. He's playing down his chances a bit yesterday, but I think more nerves than anything else. He doesn't want to jinx himself.
Amazingly as well, coming into round 13, we've not had an Italian win a MotoGP race so far in 2021. Is today Pecco Bagnaia's day?
We're warming up to the warm-up lap here in Aragon. A 23-lap race coming up. There's a lot of tension and excitement in the air about this one.
Yeah, he's looking fairly relaxed, isn't he, Pecco Bagnaia? Arms folded, face of pure concentration.
Here's your front row then for the 13th round of 2021. The World Championship leader defending a 65-point lead. Fabio Quartararo starts 3rd. Thriller Miller in 2nd. Can he get himself back on the podium for the first time since Catalunya? Will he win? Or will it be this man, Pecco Bagnaia? The Italian starts on pole.